Welcome back and thanks for rejoining. I promised a Gwentfest and here we go, Gwentfest, starting with the Nilfgaardian Nobleman quest. So we've gone back to the palace at Vizima for this. Up to this point, the only person that we've played at Gwent is the academic in the pub in White Orchard. So I'm not going to make this a Gwent tutorial. My personal preference is to play with the Northern Realms deck, probably Habit. You can have 22 cards and I have 24. I like a decoy. Roach is part of the next generation little gift. What do I have that I can change? So these are all level 1. Let's stick Zoltan in because he's 5. Those are level 1. So we can get rid of cards. I think I will get rid of. So if you use both of those because they're close link, you can get. They become worth 2 each, but then that depends on you having both of them. So I think I'm going to just get rid of one of those, and that is need to have that many unit cards. So we'll go with the Siege Engineer instead because he can boost the level of my siege weapons. Should I have any? I have a couple. Okay, let's start. So my opponent's playing with the Nilfgaardian deck. For reasons just discussed, I'm going to get rid of him, and that is Vess, so I'll just stick with her. She's worth 5. So they're starting with 2 in infantry. I have Spy as well, which is great. We'll start with Sheila. So that just doubles the level there. So maybe today isn't the time to play the Spy because that will become worth 10 in his infantry. And as suspected, that's then doubled. We could really do with something that would just get rid of all 3 of those. And there are a couple of cards that do it, but I don't have any of them. They've played 6, I've played 7. I'm just wondering about losing this round, but going for the next. They've passed, so I will just play Sabrina Glevisig, and then I've won that round. Then I get to draw 1 extra card, which is the Northern Realms perk, and that's great because those 2 have the close bond or strong bond, whatever it's called. I'll just have a quick look. Tight bond, close. I will play 1 of those. So that brings a card back from the dead. It's brought Rain Farm back, and I'm going to play my Spy now, which gets me an extra 2 cards. So one of which is Yop and Zegrin. Well, that's his special card, which allows him to look at 3 random cards. I'm sure it probably hasn't done him much good. And we carry on. I might as well play that one early to see what his response is to it. I thought it might be. Now there is a clear weather effect, but I don't have the card yet, so I'm just going to play something a bit further back. This one will bring someone back from the dead. I might usually save it till later, but I'm going to play it now because I think if I win this round it won't need to go to 3. And I think I have won this round. Fabulous. Which is probably the end of the Nilfgaardian Nobleman quest, I believe. And I wonder which card I'm going to win from him. Full test. I wonder which full test it is. Oh, and actually at the end of the last episode I noticed that I was overweight, which was really random, but I appear to not be overweight anymore. Very strange. I'm not sure what happened there, but we'll just ignore it and move on to our next Gwent. Let's see if I can change my leader ability card because I just picked up another full test. Yeah, that's the clear weather one, so I'm going to go with the clear weather. That's one of my favourites. So the more cards that you pick up, the better your hand is and the more chance you have of winning easily. You can set difficulty levels for Gwent. I'm not sure what mine is set at, and maybe for Gwentfest I should set it at the most difficult, so let me have a look. Options, gameplay. We're on Death March, as we know, and then hard Gwent. Oh, a bit brave, but let's go for it, as we are on Death March. And my next stop on my Gwent travels is going to be back to Velen, and I'm going to go to Crow's Perch. Here I am in Crow's Perch. I'm not going to call Roach this time because I'm going to play Gwent with, I'm going to start here, let me meditate till morning so that the shopkeeper comes back. There he is. Right, I'm going to play Gwent with you, and I'm going to buy any Gwent cards that you have for sale. So have a look at what you have and buy any Gwent cards. And Seracanian Fire Scorpion, Imperial Brigade Guard, Nausicaa Cavalry Rider, and Albrecht. That's a quest. I might have a read of that as well, but I will leave that for another time because this is a Gwent episode. Let's play Gwent. We'll set to 10 again. None of the cards that I just picked up will impact me particularly, and I haven't actually set up a deck at all for the Squirtel. I don't have enough cards, although I should have all my other. So you can use the some of the cards are sort of hero cards that you can use for any deck. For completeness, I'm popping these in. The reality is I don't have enough cards to play with the Nilfgaardian deck yet anyway, and even if I did I would probably choose not to. So I like the decoys. I don't need the clear weather anymore because I now have the leader, the full test clear all the weather effects card. I might have one commander's horn though, and we will take it from there. Start game. Roach is fun later because he gets called automatically if you play Geralt. most of these cards are pretty good, but I always like to start, if I can, with a spy. That's certainly fortuitous. I'm not going to take the risk of swapping one of the others out and ending up with a level 2 though, so we'll just start the game. I don't know how difficulty is changed by the program, so I don't know whether it just gives your opponent a better hand. No idea how it works. Perhaps it always gives your opponent a better hand than you. So not too worried about that because I can clear weather. Sometimes if you don't have anything in the infantry section and a weather card is played, then you can use it to your advantage because you can play a spy that's infantry and then it becomes worth only 1 on the other side. So that's Sheila. And that is increasing the level of the other things in the row. And Sabrina features heavily in the second game, or relatively heavily. So I might choose this point to play the spy and make it worth only 1 and get 2 extra cards. So my opponent's passed, I might as well pass then on this level as well. I'll end up with 7 cards to his 4. With Detmold. He's a not very nice mage. And a trebuchet. Kira, who we already know well from the game. So torrential rain, so it is worth clearing the weather effects now for this one. There we go. And they're on their last card. It's not going to change the outcome. So let me pass there as well. And I've won that round too. So I don't know which card I'll win from him. Obviously get my stake back and he doubles it. And a smuggler, so that's one of the elf decks. And I have some more Gwent opponents up here. Three, I think. So both the armourers, Johanna and Fergus, and I think the quartermaster over here might also play Gwent or sell cards. So let's have a look. What are you offering? And so a decoy, I like a decoy, and another cavalry rider, and Cynthia, who is from Nilfgaard as well. Maybe come back for the map as well. And let's play Gwent. Now my cards here haven't changed apart from another decoy. I think one decoy is alright at this stage in the game. So we'll start the game. And I think I'll keep all of those. there's always that risk of exchanging something, that you might get something really bad, particularly early on in the game like this. So if I had a decoy, I could decoy for Dijkstra, and then I could play Dijkstra myself. Not to worry, because I will just bring him back from the dead in the next round when he goes to my dead pile, and then I can use him as a bonus spy. For now, I will use my own spy as well. And I'll play Zoltan too. Just keeping a little eye on the cards. Don't want to play anything too dramatically different, because if at some point they decide to give up the game, then I want to be not I don't want to have played higher cards than necessary. I might use this one now. So there's a card called Scourge, which gets rid of all the cards on the board of the highest value. So a Scorch card would have got rid of those 3 12s. But I was rather hoping that there was no Scorch card available, and I suspect that I'm correct in that. Correct in my surmise. So there we go. I will play the spy that was played earlier, and then I get an extra 2 cards. Oh, interesting. So is he going to, but that one is worth a bit more. So it works out in my favour, although I don't end up with extra bonus cards. So torrential rain, but I'm just going to clear weather again. And at this stage I'm going to pass on the rest of the round, because I don't think my opponent's 1 card will make any difference. There we go. And then I will win a card from the quartermaster as well, and win my bet. Vatier de Rideau. And I'm going to come over here and play Fergus and Joanna. Now I don't think they sell any cards, but I will check. Oh, I also need to talk to him about Master Armour. No Gwent cards there. But what would you say to a round? The better your opponent, so further on in the game usually, the higher your stake can be. So still don't want to make any changes here. And I don't tend to play weather cards, because I end up causing more of an issue to my own deck often than my opponent, and I think depending on the card you're often better off with a different one. So even if I'd chosen them, I'd probably end up swapping them out. So this is interesting. Fergus is playing with the  deck, so started with a Scoia'tael there. go for Sheila. Sheila in the books is quite an academic and a bit dry. I wouldn't necessarily say humourless, just a bit dry. That little symbol there means that every other elven skirmisher is then called if you have them in your hand. So you can, there are lots of those in the monster deck and in the elves deck, and that's quite a handy thing, although I don't often play the elves or the monster deck. Milf is pretty cool. So they're playing, Kira wants to look smashing, of course. So that one will also call some fellow skirmishers. Note though that they now have only 5 cards to my 7 because they've been called from the deck. And I also don't think that they're going to play any cards to damage mid-range, so I'm going to double this. I can't remember if I have another Crinfield Reaver. No, let's play Roach instead. Then I'm not too excessive with the scoring. We just keep slightly ahead. So I don't know what cards they have, of course. I'll pick up 1 extra card, so I will have 4 to their 2. And I go first. Let's play Vess. I like Vess. She's a really fun character. Who again I think we meet for the first time in the second game. And she pops up in this one as well. Geralt has the option, depending how the game is played, for a brief fling with her. So that's Fergus. I get my money back, and the Chiron second game fame. I've already said in one of the other episodes, but it literally took me forever to beat. So I don't think she has any cards. I'm going to check, given that this is all about Gwent. And care to play? Well, Chiron, by the way, is part of the Monsters deck. There you go. And cards, where was it? Cards that have this little sun around the number aren't affected by weather changes and can't be removed by scorch or other effects like that. So they're good cards, but they also don't double if you double the row, for example. Right, back to Northern Realms. We'll swap out Yarpen. I have 3 Blue Stripes Commandos, so that's great from a doubling your money kind of perspective. So monsters are playing as my opponents. think I might play all of these up front. So again, any other vampires from the deck will be called. Wow, that is a lot of vampires from the deck, and I'm wondering if actually I will just bow out of this round, let Joanna have it, and we'll just restart in the next round. I think I will, because if she has a, well, let's see, she might then use a double. No, but she is calling in a Arrakis, which can do the same thing. So that's definitely a good point to just pass on this round and go for the next one. In fact, I'll have to win the next two. It's a strange choice to decoy. Oh, and if you're playing monsters, one of your cards stays on the board. I think it's chosen at random. So they've passed with 16. I am going to just play that one. So then I will pass. So that's one round one, but I do need to, a different random card has stayed on the board. I do need now to win this round. I have 6 cards to my opponent's 3, so hopefully I'll be all right. So I can only assume that the remaining 2 cards are both infantry, because otherwise that was a pointless use of a card, unless it only doubles infantry. Oh yeah, it's close combat. All right, so no choice really. It wouldn't make any difference to the Leshen. That's the vampire that was substituted previously. When it's being played for a second time, it oh, the opponent's passed, so that's me sorted. When it's being, oh, had to pass because they ran out of cards. When it's playing for the second time, it doesn't call all of its mates over. Fabulous. So that one was a bit closer, but I have won Dennis Cramner. And I'm going to run up here and I'm going to play the Bloody Baron. No, I don't have anything else to tell you about your wife yet, but I would like to play you at Gwent. Is that all right? Let's play Gwent. That's a definite enticement. Not sure I've ever played Gwent on the most difficulty level before, so I hope, if this is the first tough opponent, I hope it isn't too tough. I hope he isn't too tough for me to beat. But I'm going to stick with my hand. Oh, I don't want to accidentally play the Nilfgaardian set, but I don't have enough cards to anyway. Right, I don't have any spies. I do have a medic. I might swap the decoy because I can always raise one of their spies from the dead. I'm also tempted to swap the Commander's Horn, but I don't really want to get a really low card for it, so it's a gamble. Not a low card, but not a spy either. Oh, it's a demo of the Scorch card. Now, if I was a Bloody Baron, I would have waited until I put another couple of 6s on the board, or to at least see that. And because Scorch works like that, sometimes I do try and randomise the card numbers, because if you had a whole load of 6s, then they would all just be gone at the same time. That's not what we want. So maybe he's lulled me into a false sense of security with his initial play of the PFI. Torrential Rain has damaged him as well, and I can always clear weather effects. Which I might do now. Okay, so next round I can use my medic to revitalise Dijkstra. Oh, but I will do it for Velen instead, because he's only going to be worth 1 when I pop him on my opponent's side. And I'm wondering about passing here, because I'm 17 ahead and he'll have to use a good couple of his cards to get 17. Oh, another spy though, that's not ideal. So, I'm not too fazed by that. We're both on 4 cards now, but I am going to, oh, his turn first. I'm going to raise Thaler from the dead with Taylor. And that will give me a bonus 2 cards. So he's the second best spy. The first is the Mysterious Elf. We'll play you then, Sabrina, and then I've won that round as well. I get 1 extra card. Not a massive difference, but I will lead with it. Now, I should be fine with this. The potential pitfalls are that my opponent could use Scorch or Biting Frost. Biting Frost not so great, because it means that I believe the most that my commandos will be worth is 1 each. So if his remaining card is a high one, then hopefully it's infantry, but yes, phew. So I've won that round as well without even playing my remaining Type Bond card. So I wonder who I will win from the Bloody Baron. Boat Builder in Reardon, and Soothsayer at a Windmill. And a boy somewhere. Thank you. Now there are some quests just involving Gwent. Oh, I missed who I got from the Baron. Dijkstra, great. So another spy, and I will get rid of the siege expert. Quests, that's what I was talking about. So Gwent specific quests. While I'm here, is there anything in my inventory to just drop off? No, a few bits to sell, but nothing to drop off. Okay, bear with me while I sell the few bits that I have to sell. And then we will get back to Gwent. So you can have that, those, that. That will help with my overall weight, and you can have those two as well. There we go. Oh, I was talking about quests just involving Gwent. So that one looks like Gwent Velen Players. Or Velen Gwent Players. Let's have a... Whoop. So, secondary quests, Gwent playing Innkeeps, need to go and win Stjepan's card, and Gwent Velen Players, Baron, Reardon, Soothsayer. Obviously there's the collect 'em all, which I like to get. I am just going to go around to some of the other places in Velen first and play the people that I've missed so far. Starting with Blackbow. I don't know if this merchant is a... No, he's a regular one. Hankering to play Gwent. But let's see if you have any random Gwent cards as well. No. So we'll carry on. We have 2 spies now. I think spies are probably my favourite cards. Healers are good as well, because if someone plays a spy on you, then you can bring them back. And decoys are brilliant if you're playing against someone who you know will have a lot of spies. So when you're actually playing the Passiflora Gwent quest a bit later, always plenty of decoys in your hand. Or I always have plenty of decoys in my hand anyway. So that's a spy, so he gets his 2 extra cards, but it's also worth 7, which is quite useful for me. Oh, another one. Again, I may just leave it here. He's going to have to play a few cards to get up to 27. And he's played 2 weather cards. So by carrying on playing those, he has won the round, but actually he's back down to fewer cards than me. So, Vatier. My opponent's passed, maybe so that he can use a medic as well to bring back a spy. I am going to take the opportunity to play my other spy so that I know exactly what I'm dealing with hand-wise. Those can go in the next round, so I just need to play another 10. That will be you and you. And then I will get a bonus card for winning the round. Okay. So I have to win this round because I let the opponent win the first. I think that was a good decision. And I still have my clear weather. So the blue stripes for special commando unit that Vess is part of. Under Vernon Roche. Right, so opponent has passed. And I've won that one. So some money and another Nilfgaardian. I didn't check to see who I won from the Bloody Baron. Maybe one of... I will have a look again later. So it's obviously sometimes a trader by the cart, but there isn't at the moment. But we'll go over and talk to the blacksmith. Yeah, charming. Don't think he has any Gwent cards either. How about we play cards? So they're all reasonable cards. I'll swap Roach out and then start the game. So I'm starting, I'll start with Siegfried. And I will go with Zoltan as well. I like Zoltan. More long range, and then to mix it up again we'll have Kira and then maybe Detmold. No, Actually, I'll play my spy next, I think. So I swapped him away, but I've just picked him up again. Right, so really I only need to play 4, but I don't want to play one of those because they're much more valuable together, so I'm going to end up playing something that's worth 5 and then passing. So probably use this with my infantry, assuming that we don't have any biting frost. And I'm going to put it on now before I play the other blue stripes. But no need to play the other blue stripes now. We'll pass that one. And 1. Great. I think that might be, oh, Grave Hag. So in the monsters deck. I think that might be everybody here, so I will move on to my next town. Where are my mid-cops? Blackbow, close. I will go to mid-cops, which is over there. Here I am then, and I am going to, there's a merchant just to my left up here, so I'm going to start with him. I'm good for all of those. I will have a look at any Gwent cards that you have on offer though. Fingers crossed. So if you're doing the Gwent Collect 'em All quest, you do actually need to buy the cards as well as win them. I don't need to play any more PFI. Oh, Crimfield Reaver, that's useful because he's a type bond and I already have one. And that one I just bought willy-nilly without even checking who he was. Let's play Gwent. So we'll add the Reaver, and I wonder who else we picked up. Grave Hag was before, maybe it was him that we just bought. Okay, let's start the game. And Yarpen, I will swap you out. I should have swapped you out when I swapped the Reaver in actually, that's my bad. Who else do I have here? I'd rather have a spy as well. So, sorry Sheldon. And I did pick up a spy though, so it was worth it. We'll pop you in first, Sabrina. Oh, that's really cute. Cute little forktail. And let's have Sheila as well. We can have some mages all together in the mid-range. And then we can have a trebuchet. So he obviously doesn't have any more vampires, otherwise they'd have all come to join in the infantry. I might play my spy now, see what happens. That's really useful because it sort of tells me what to play next, which will be Kira. And then I can pass that round too. So he's playing monsters, so the spy has randomly stayed on, and that's quite useful for me because it means he can't use it. So the little arrows in the circle can be used mid-range or infantry. Oh, so cute. So type bond again. I'll pop Detmold in next. So later on in the game I'd be really reluctant to pop the third one in this early because it's just asking for a Scorch. But I don't think this opponent will have a Scorch. I'm hedging my bets that he doesn't. And good hedging because I was correct. So I'm going to pass here. And I've won that. Thank you. So I have my money and Elven Skirmisher. I have two lovely swords, a silver one and a steel one. I'm alright for a Gabrielle, thanks though. I'll have a quick look, see if he has any Gwent cards. Nope. Let's have a round of Gwent. Yeah, let's play cards. So, who was I going to get rid of? Yarpen. Sorry, Yarpen. Opponent's playing monsters. I might keep the decoy and keep Dijkstra. Yeah, I think I'll just carry on with those as they are. Now, how early to play the spy? That's the thing. Shall I go in with him now? So that I know where I am. I think we are at the opponent level perhaps where they could decoy the spy and play him again. Like I am about to. So they've passed, I just need to play another 6 to win the round. There we have it. And I pick up a bonus card. Hey Roach! And I'm going to start by playing his own spy back to him, which is great from the Reaver perspective. So I'll play one of you. I'm going to play the catapult next because if my opponent has a Scorch, it protects my Reaver. Because it will scorch the catapult, not the Reaver, and the Reaver has the potential of being worth 10, 2 lots of 10, and the catapult is 1 lot of 8. So I'll save the Reaver for the end if I need him. I may not. It depends what cards my opponent has. But we can clear weather effects, so not too worried, really. I'll still save him for a bit later. Oh. Okay then. So I think I've won that round as well. This is a good example though of why the catapult is protective, because if my opponent, if I didn't have the catapult there and someone played a Scorch, I would lose Sheila, the Reaver, Siegfried, and Zoltan and Kira all in Awana. Okay, there we go. I don't think there is anyone else to play here. Oh, Teruviel, so one of the elves. I'm just having a wander around just in case there is another Gwent player randomly in the village. I don't think there is. So let's head back down. And we will go back to the fast travel. Here we go. We're not, well, Kira's not there anymore, of course, is she? Because she's hopefully on her way to Kaer Morhen, and I am on my way to Claywitch. Here I am in Claywitch. Now, in the last episode, I freed someone from Bandit Island, as I call it, and he hopefully has had enough time to get back to Claywitch. So he has, and he's just given me 6 bottles of Dwarven Spirit, so that's really thoughtful of him. I'll see if he has any Gwent cards for me to buy as well. Oh, so he does. So some archers, lots of mid-range, black infantry, another Reaver, Putkammer, can't remember who that is, and Swears. So we'll bought all of those, and let's play him now. So we'll add the Reaver. Don't want to add any of the others, but we can get rid of, I think it might be Roach for the time being until we can bring Roach back in when we have Geralt. Sorry, Roach. So I might keep both of those, although I do like to have a spy on hand. So sorry, Sabrina. Let's start with Vess. Trebuchet. Fighting Frost, not forgetting that I have Clear Weather though. So we will add him in. At the moment it looks like I only have 2 there, but in reality I have 10. I'll pop the catapult on as well. Torrential rain. Shall I clear the weather already? Yeah. Now I'm thinking about doubling up. Also thinking of just passing this round. Yeah, I think I might just pass it. Okay, so I won that one. And I'll just play Detmold. He's already passed. I'll pass as well. Actually, I didn't even need to really play Detmold, I don't think, but nice to have a clear win. And in some of the factions, they always win when there's a draw. Oh, I got a ghoul. Thank you, merchant. Right. Don't think there is anybody else here to visit. And there wasn't anyone at Boatmaker's Hut, so I'm going to go to Reardon next. Here I am in Reardon. I'm going to look at the notice board a bit later. Let's loot those bits and pieces. Is everybody asleep? Perhaps they are, so let me just meditate until the morning. Right, there's a... ah, there we go. Ooh, meteorite. Oh, some Nilfgaardian soldiers and a blacksmith. Yeah. No Gwent cards. I'm not playing Gwent either. Don't need anything crafted really at the moment. So farewell. And I wonder if there's anyone else here who plays Gwent. Hopefully. Otherwise it's a wasted trip. Oh, sorry. Peasant. Is there a soldier? No, I'm just going to loot these. Merchant. Hi, merchant. I do have some coin to spend. I'm going to see if you have any Gwent cards, which you don't. Shall I also sell you some hide? This will also help with my weight levels. Except he's out of money now. Let's play Gwent. He can bet more than he has. Interesting, so he must find some coins somewhere. So happy with my choices there. Let's start the game. And I'm fine with my hand as well, so let's go for it. Oh no, let's start with Zoltan. And Ballista. Sheila, keeping it a fairly even spread. So he's great. I will decoy him so that I can play him. So he has 2 Reavers. I can use my Reavers now as well, because if he does nothing to damage them, he will damage his own also. I might just copy those couple of moves, move for move. So he's passed. I will double that, and then I will pass as well. Okay, and I'll start with the catapult, or the trebuchet, sorry. So Natalis is a great card. Nothing can remove it from the board, but it can't be doubled or anything like that. So I'm contemplating, I still have 5 cards now, I think I'm alright. Contemplating passing and going for another round. Okay, so this is a demonstration of Scorch, just removing 1 card. And what do I have left? I have 2 cards, I have 4, 19, 11, so if I play those 2, okay, yeah, I think I can win this round. So it's cleared weather effects, which saves me having to do it. Okay, I'll do it this time then. And I will pass this round too. Thank you. Good effort finding those spare crowns and giving me the Frightener. And back to the village marker. I think I'll come and loot the village another time. I will look at the notice board while I'm here. Okay. User stopped playing. Man needed. Scribbler needed, yes, certainly is. Contract on missing soldiers and a warning from the Nilfgaardian, so it's the missing soldier contract there. I'll have a quick read of it. Mystery of the Byways murders. So I remember the town of Byways, which must be kind of south of here. It's around here somewhere, I think. Can't remember exactly which one, maybe it's there. Either way, I don't fancy going there at the moment because it's full of ghouls. I'm going to go to Vale. And I'm going to go and talk to this merchant. See if you have any Gwent cards, which you do. Another PFI. And I'm going to play Gwent with you. So no one I want to swap yet. And I'll keep that deck as it is. passed, so I will pass also. And I will lead with Sabrina. Now they are probably going to bring, yeah, I thought so, so Dijkstra back. I am going to decoy Dijkstra. And I'll use him straight away. That's fortuitous on the blue stripes front. Now, hoping that their last remaining card isn't a Scorch. Seems unlikely. And they've passed anyway, so I'm going to pass as well. There we go. Thank you, merchant. And I wonder if the other one is the innkeep, so that's a vampire. I think this is the inn where I met Dolores. So he has a card for sale, Commander's Horn, that's the one that doubles everything up. But not a Gwent player. Let me have a look around and see who else in the town might be a reasonable opponent if there is anyone else. Looks like, yeah, someone over there. Armourer. Blacksmith. Hi, blacksmith. Thank you. Nice inlaid knuckle duster for the ladies. I'm good for an inlaid knuckle duster. Funny that. He doesn't have any Gwent cards, but he is an opponent, so let's play. I'm not changing any of those. I'm going to just add to these decks. So I might have, yeah, I do have enough to play Nilfgaard now, but it's not as good as my Northern Realms deck, so I'm going to carry on with the Northern Realms. No spies, so sorry Siegfried and Sheila, still no spies, but there is a medic, so I can use an opponent's spy if I am able. It's Teruviel. I thought Teruviel might be worth a bit more. I seem to recall Geralt having a relationship with her as well. Well, relationship's overstating it. In Witcher 2. So the, I'll just remind myself what that one's called. The muster only works if you have the others actually in your deck. So if you've chosen them for your total deck. Okay, potentially dangerous ground here depending what other cards my opponent has. I can get an extra 12 by bringing this one back from the dead. Which I'm not going to need to do, although I will, given I have to play her anyway. There we go. So opponent should pass, and I've won the round. Thank you. A little bit of money, and which card have I won from you? Torrential Rain. Not my best ever win. Don't think there's anyone else here. Peasant, peasant. Old man, old woman. Already spoken with the trader. I think that's all. So a look back at the quests then, secondary quests. I think I will have a little look through, win a card from the Man in Reardon. Haven't I just been there? Yes. So back to Reardon to win a card. Him, I'm guessing. Ah, just a bit of a hint. Heard you play Gwent. Yeah. So he should have featured, I would have thought, in this game, interestingly, because I think I chose to let him live at the end of the last game. However, he didn't show up when I went to the Reardon Manor. So for whatever reason, he's not going to go to Camwarren at the end. This guy is a good player. I have to think about it a bit more. There we go. So it would be helpful if I picked up another spy for winning this round. Or blue stripes, maybe. Spy would be better though, great. What was that one? Draw a card from your opponent's discard pile. That means that I can't raise someone from the dead. But I couldn't do that anyway, so it's not the end. Oh, but he can. Clever. So I probably want to decoy. There we go. Then I can play him. Oh, crikey, he's decoyed 2 spies, which means that his hand is going to be quite a lot better than mine. So I'd like him to play one of the spies in an ideal world. Or 2, so that I can then raise from the dead. Yes. Hooray. I think I will pass here because I think that he'll find it hard to win the round, which means I'll get 1 more. Oh, interesting. So that's just a bit of a waste of those cards, certainly, if I'm going to win the round anyway. I mean, I think he probably could have won if he'd passed then. Lots of spies, so spies are the key to winning the game, certainly for... Oh, well that was really strange because he could have won that easily. Anyway, I have won. Okay, so Haddie is the extra person that the Baron was talking about, probably. One Letho, that's great. Okay, I do need to pause here for a sec. Velen Gwent Players. So I'm actually going to start with winning a card from the Soothsayer, who is a long, long way away. Background to... So Haddie's closer, but I think he's a more difficult opponent. And I think that if I can win the card from the Soothsayer and then take that up, I don't know what card it is, but take it along with me to Haddie. And... Oh. Right. So Soothsayer not far from Reardon Manor. I think it's probably one for Roach. Hey Roach. See if anything's happening around here. Hi Dolores. You're welcome. Yeah, probably fair. Well, I'm very glad to hear it. No wraiths around anymore, so always a bonus. Right, jump on Roach. Roach, you're so clever going to find food. And 430. I think it's one for fast. Oh. Well, I thought it was one for fast travel, but Roach seems to be stuck at the first hurdle. There we go. Not fast travel, kind of fast horse travel. Oh. See you later, Neckers. Don't worry, I will come back for you. I'm just on a bit of an alternative mission at the moment. Oh, see you later, bandits and deserters. I think there's a soothsayer up here. Let's just jump down so that I don't go in waving my sword. There we go. Hi, old sage. I've seen you in my dreams. Bit creepy. Not for free, Geralt, just free. Give you some food first. Hymn of madness and despair. Great. I'm sure I can manage. But play Gwent with me first already? Yeah, of course, I'm going to help you. I'm Geralt of Rivia. I'm going to play Gwent with you though, okay? Well, he did a little bit of foretelling there. Isn't it supposed to be lucky if a bird poos on you? Anyway, let's play Gwent. 22 cards. Let's add you, even though I am absolutely not going to play the Nilfgaardian Empire set anytime soon. Decoy, and as people are getting better I'm going to have a couple more decoys, but I still don't tend to use weather effects. And he's playing monsters deck. I think 2 decoys. It's not bad. I have a couple of spies. I might keep it as it is. I could have swapped out Sabrina. Just never know exactly what you're going to get. Let's start with Sheila and see what he does. Necker. They're only worth 2, so that's alright by me. And Ballista. I wonder how many of those he has though. Okay, I mean still alright, still not dire. I could find myself sacrificing the first round here. Oh, let's see how quickly he plays that though, that will be interesting. And indeed if he has a decoy. Well, that's a good draw. So let's go for these chaps. He's passed, so if I play him, that will allow me a bit of a lead without even using my clear weather, so great. Now I'll get one extra card, and he at some point will play his spy, which I can then exchange back. And his card that stayed on was a ghoul, so only 1 point. I'll take that. I wonder how many vampires he has. Lots. So I think the next one after this will be the protective trebuchet. And then I'll swap out the spy. Hopefully he doesn't have a whole load of crones. Oh yes, he does. So he has 70, but only 2 cards left. I have 3 of these. Maybe I will play you. Not the best. And I might swap you out and then pass that round, because I should be able to win the next one. Particularly as he has no cards left. There we go. So he won that round, and one of the crones stays on board, but he doesn't have any more cards. Although picking another card when you win the round, I think that's just for the northern kingdoms. Okay, so let's see what his card was. It's kind of a bit rambly. Oh, that is really sweet though. So we can find a fast travel post and go back to Haddy. Who we already heard about actually from the guy who was making a cradle out of pine for his wife. Oh, we won Weavess, one of the crones. It's not going to make any difference to my current playing. Where's the fast travel post here? There must be one. No? Yes. Benek. And back to Midcops. Haddy's going to be the last of my Gwent opponents for a while. I want to do the Innkeep quest, of course, but 2 of those are in places that I haven't yet ventured. So I'm going to leave after I've played Haddie, who hopefully I will beat. Just neurodiverse. Weavers, and then back to the Northern Realms and start the game. He's also playing Northern Realms. Decoy's good, Spire's good, Skaldun's not great, and those are worth a reasonable amount. I am going to get rid of one of the 5s in the hope that I get something better, may or may not. Well, time will tell. Start with Zoltan. I mean, the medic's good because if Haddie plays a spy, then I can revive it. I can also swap one out with the decoy. So he's not doing anything massively exciting yet, but we'll see where this goes. And I wonder if he'll decoy out Dijkstra. No, he's passed, so I just need to play a 6. There we go. He will probably raise Dijkstra from the dead. Probably, I'm not sure, we'll see. But the other thing about him passing there is that if he had more of the blue stripes or more of the reavers, he didn't put them all down when it would have made a bigger difference. So just interesting. I mean, obviously it's not a real person playing, it's a computer. Oh, roach. Well, if I win this, hopefully that's one of the cards that I will win, or the card I will win. Dandelion's only worth 2, but he does double anything else on the row. Of course, it hasn't impacted Roach because he is one of the special cards, so a hero card. We'll go with you, which means that he's going to end up being worth 10. Any spies I play. Fog, interesting. Any spies I play, if he does play Dijkstra back at me, will be, which I'm sure he will, it will be, well, maybe he won't be able to, depends what his remaining 2 cards are. What was I talking about? Yes, any spies he plays and then I play back will end up being doubled if they go onto that row. Let me double those as well. And Yennefer brings someone back from the dead and also won't be affected, so he'll play the spy then. Very sensible. I will substitute him. And I will play him. And it's a little bit risky, but I think I will sacrifice this round. He'll end up with 2 cards. It depends whether or not one of them's a spy, but I can still substitute something, so he'll probably pass now, yeah. And then he'll pick up 1 card. And go first. So I should be alright. So, and actually with the let's just as a demo with the medic, I can substitute her back again and raise someone else from the dead by using her again, so I can raise my second blue stripes, and then I don't need to play the other two. And Haddie has lots of good cards, and I've completed Velen Gwent Players. I don't get very many XP for that, and it's Roche. Super duper. Oh, 2. Roche and Reardon. Lovely. That is it for Gwentfest, Gwent and more Gwent, and next time just a routine playthrough episode with no Gwent. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and do subscribe.